boy, how we doing? JD here. Final track 8, which is not track 8, it's track 10. I'll explain a bit later. A Puppet of Flesh and Bone, the title track. So, you're going to get one of two tracks with this. You're either going to get the 9-minute monstrosity, or you're going to get a 4-minute track. I don't know which one yet. I quite like the 9-minute track, because I think I'm real fond of obscurely long tracks. I like short tracks. Short tracks are probably my favourite because they're the ones I listen to more, because you always miss stuff on the first listening. You go back through, like the Berserker, for argument's sake. If you listen to No One Wins, that's a 1-minute 50-second song. Listen to it multiple times, and you really get a lot from it. I think with this one, I wanted to pay homage a little bit to the Berserker in a way. I love that band. They have a song called Farewell. I think it's 12 minutes long, and it's basically the same song repeated with minor changes, and I really love when that happens because most people miss those changes, and I think I've done roughly the same thing here. So with chapter 8 in the story, A Puppet of Flesh and Bone, the story itself is really quite short because it's the end. It's the culmination of all the story. The story sits right at the end, and it's basically a short chapter to really hammer home what's happened and then finish it. I like that. I like sudden endings. I like the abrupt endings. It's very satisfying to me. And I think what I wanted to do with this is there are a lot of changes in this track. Subtle changes, different fills. The track moves in the same way. I've used where you have a phonetic chorus where you can program on your keyboard and you can have the phonetics ooh. But what I thought I would do is I would change that up, and I would have, if you take that out of a standard C1, C2 sort of setting, and if you drop it to C0, C-1, it sounds quite demonic. So that's what I've done. And you have this real horrible sounding synth in right below everything. The bass, when I wrote the bass part for it, is quite high to leave the bottom section filled with this really demonic sounding synth. And then I want to go one of two ways lyrically, which is why I say you're either going to get a 9-minute track or you're going to get a 4-minute track, because I think lyrically I want to try a few new things out on this and actually elaborate more in the track about the story than what is in the story, if you see what I mean. Whereas up to this point, I think with Volume 2, it was about having the right amount of lyrics per track so that you would move the story along, but not to fill a track so that there were no empty spaces. There was just, you had to think about the musicianship within the track and then try and get the vocals to fit as best as I possibly could. I've learned a lot more since then. And I think what I want to try with this is I want to try elaborating on a story that isn't written in the short story. Is this making any sense? I don't think so. And try and really sort of, where you've got that small passage in chapter 8, A Puppet of Flesh and Bone, and it explains everything very succinctly. I want to take that and I want to elaborate in it as much as I possibly can. And I think that's where this title track is going to come in. And I think it's very satisfying for me to listen. I mean, up to the point of me making these videos, this is February the 15th, 2024. Neil may listen to it and be like, what the hell is this? So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it. So this is the last video of the video diaries talking about the music. There's a lot more coming. There's the artwork, the physical CD release, the postcards. There's going to be the merchandise that I'm going to be putting together, which, if I can pull this off, I'm going to buy myself a badge. I think I'm going to put those out now over the coming weeks, and see what all of you guys think. But this is basically the whole album. So let me just run down from top to bottom all the different track titles. I Can Hear Footsteps, Curiosities Should Be Left Alone, This Room Will Be Your Grave, You Should Have Left, The Crumbling of a Mind Rotting, Music Box Interlude, The Skin Ripped, The Architect of Souls, It Comes Ripping, a puppet of flesh and bone. So that's everything from the music, from the titles, from all of that. Lot more to come, I think. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to get it done. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. If you have watched every single one of these, I really appreciate it. Thanks ever so much for everything. And there's going to be a lot more coming before we release this album. I'm not going to give away dates at this point. As I said, it's only February the 15th so far when I'm recording this last video. So far, the album... Oh, just to let you know as well, the album took about 2 months to write, near enough. I think it was, yeah, about 2 months, give or take. About 2 months. Which I'm really quite happy with it. I'm going to start, now as it's February the 15th, making this video. My next moves are to be... I've got all the bass tabbed out. Next is to learn it and record it for every track. Once I've done that, the ideas I've got vocally, I'll put those down next. And then I'll pass it off to Neil. I haven't written the guitar for any of these tracks this time, not like volume 2. Neil wrote the guitar lines, the guitar tracks for volume 3 for Sleepless and for Them. I was extremely impressed with what happened. So yeah, Neil's much better writing guitar parts than I am. When I tried writing guitar parts for this album, I didn't add anything to the track whatsoever. So I removed what I wrote. I gave him a couple of ideas and then just said, do it. So, and I know he will. The guy is amazing. So I think that's it for everything volume 4, music-wise. Lots more to come, but that's every track. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care of yourself, and we shall speak soon. Bye-bye.